Namaste. Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutrabhashya Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punaha Shruti Smruti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Padam Shankaram Lokashankaram. Good evening everyone and good morning to those of you joining from all over the world. Welcome you all to the closing ceremony of this Global Festival of Oneness, celebrating the incredible life and works of Jagat Guru Adi Shankaracharya. It has been a feast to the mind and soul, listening to so many wonderful speakers, Swaminis, artists, professors, entrepreneurs, authors, sharing their multiple perspectives about Adi Shankara. It's beyond comprehension how this wonderful festival came together in such a short time and how much enthusiasm we have received from thought leaders from all over the world to come forward and give their valuable time. So today is the closing ceremony. We are starting a few minutes early to allow enough time to share with you our big plans for the future. And also, we have two wonderful presentations today. We have the honor of listening to Sri Harikaran Ji, the founder of Advaita Academy, and many other initiatives around the world that he has undertaken. It's almost become his life's mission. Following his opening remarks, we have Advaita in Performance, a dance and lecture demonstration by Rukmini Ji, followed by Brahmasri Dr. Samavedam Shanmuga Sarmagaru's inspiring message about expedience of Adi Shankara for humanity. Adi Shankara Loka Avasyakata for today's world. And then we will close with some Q&A and I will present my vote of thanks. Once again, thank you all for joining. The enthusiastic participation of you spiritual seekers from all over the world has made this festival possible. But this closing ceremony is actually the beginning of yet another long journey that we are going to undertake together. So with that, I now welcome Sri Harikaran Ji to deliver his opening remarks.
Sri Guru Namaha. Vastavatide Potavatide Asayandu Kanta. Vastavatide Potavatide Asayandu Kanta. Chesina dharmamu chedani padarthamu cherunu nee venta. Chesina dharmamu chedani padarthamu cherunu nee venta. Bodylo virusu lenanta sepe anadamulanta. Bodylo virusu lenanta sepe anadamulanta. Agadambai poyenadu yavadu nadu venta. Agadambai poyenadu yavadu nadu venta. Vastavatide potavatide asayandu kanta. Chesina dharmamu chedani padarthamu cherunu nee venta. That was a tattvam from Balamurali Krishna. It means that you come alone and you go alone. What remains with you is the good that you have done in your life. As long as there is wealth with you, here I use the word virus, relationships matter. But when you are at the funeral pyre, nobody comes along with you. This is the meaning. Why did I sing this song? We are 2 months into this COVID virus. People talk about Vairagyam. Vairagyam a woman faces when she gives birth to a child, or the Vairagyam you face when you go to a funeral. But this, they say again, is short-lived. But here, we have been in a lockdown for almost 60 days. Now, in this situation, when there is a developed economy which is doing yoga, which is doing meditation, which is now into lockdown and Vairagyam. What does that mean? It means that the world, significant part of the developed world, is fulfilling some part of the fourfold qualification for a spiritual seeker. What my Swamiji says, the 4 Ds: dispassion, detachment, discrimination, and desire. Intense desire. Now, some parts of this, if you are developed and if you are already rich, some part of material pressures you've already felt and you said no more. So there's a certain element of detachment. Now, you're already doing yoga and mindfulness and meditation. Now you're in this lockdown. And with this lockdown, a certain element of Vairagyam has settled. So some part of these fourfold qualifications have come in. And there is going to be a desire for liberation. My name is Hari Kiran, founder of Indic Academy and Advaita Academy. Nowadays I'm being called Hari. And I'm not Harari. So, but I have 4 letters of Harari. So in a way, I have some qualification to project what will happen to mankind. My expectation from this COVID and post-COVID is there'll be 2 things that happen. One, there'll be an explosion of innovation and creativity. And the other side, there would be an intense demand for spirituality. And this is where we in India, in Bharat, have a role to play. Today, increasingly, the political class increasingly is talking about India being a Vishwaguru. Lot of statements, Narendra Modi ji, Amit Shah ji, some ministers, talking about Vishwaguru. Now, when we say that a Vishwaguru, it's actually a person, it has to be a person. But we are saying the country itself will be a Vishwaguru. And Guru is somebody who removes ignorance. So the question arises, who is that one person who will be the Vishwaguru, or who will represent India's spirituality? That is the question. Jagat Guru Adi Shankaracharya is already called Jagat Guru. So it is, somebody was a visionary at that point in time, and they already knew that this situation would arise, and they named him Jagat Guru. But we have not yet recognized him as a Jagat Guru. We ourselves have not recognized him as a Guru. Whatever be the reasons, there are several reasons, but we have not recognized him as a Guru. We call ourselves nationals. This government prides itself as a nationalist government, but actually probably it's a patriotic government. And I make a difference between a country, which is a boundary, and a nation, which is a country plus its culture. So when you say that you're a country plus a culture, then when you say you're a nationalist, then it is required of you to recognize our centuries, our thousands of years history and iconic figures and recognize them. Sadly, we have not done that. Post-independence, whatever we have, our memory was shortened, and we only recognize people who helped us become a country. But we have not recognized the gurus who made this country what it is. I posit a theory for you. In Vedanta, we have this concept of creation, and we debate, discuss, and all that happens. But there is that nimitta karana and upadana karana. There is an efficient cause, the intelligent cause, and a material cause. These are the causes for the Jagat. The Ishvara has both the intelligence as well as the material to create the Jagat. I posit to you that Bhagavan Shankar Bhagavatpada, I call him Shankar Bhagavan. I posit to you that he is the intelligent and efficient cause, intelligent and material cause for Bharat. And I'll tell you why. If you see before Shankar Bhagavan, intelligent wise, we had Veda Vyasa, and we had the Vedas, and we had all the Itihas Puranas, all attributed to Veda Vyasa. And then we have Shankar Bhagavan. So the intelligence or the thought that this nation has been simplified, syllabasified, structured, simplified for us. So the intelligence is now, Shankar Bhagavan is the intelligent cause. Now, how is he a material cause? He's a material cause because he is the only figure in history whose living traditions in terms of the mathas that he has established are there for us to touch and feel and live even today. So you see the way he is Ishvara, he is the creator of Bharat as we know today, because he has simplified the Vedas, he has presented the Vedas, he has written commentaries on the Vedas, intelligent aspect, and materially he has left us with the mathas, and for us to even today, there is no other example of a living tradition where a 1200-year-old institution established by somebody is living vibrantly today. So, in my opinion, the Bharat Guru is Shankar Bhagavan. He is the founder of Bharat, as we know today. So if this government is serious about India becoming Vishwaguru, what it has to do is to first announce a separate category called Bharat Guru and recognize Shankar Bhagavan as Bharat Guru. It has to, on Shankara Jayanti, recognize, declare it as a holiday, recognize that yes, he is the founder of Bharat as we know today. Once this is done, then we have laid the foundation of becoming a Vishwaguru. We have did a conference on oneness last August at the birthplace of Shankar Bhagwan in Veliyanad. And that conference had almost 90 speakers over three days. And this festival, which was just supposed to be initially a conference and turned out to be a 1 month long festival. Thank you, Ravi Shankar, for prodding me to make this happen. We have almost 134 speakers and artists. 134. About 22 artists have performed and about 112 talks. What it has proved that there's so much of this tradition is alive, and this tradition that we have to nurture this tradition. We at Indic Academy are now proposing a Center for Inner Transformation, wherein we are looking at establishing 3 unique courses. The first course that we are doing is a course on Yogacharya. It would be around 11-month course, wherein it would be open for yoga seekers, and we would be making it a complete program from Sanskritam to Sutras. So they would be learning the asanas and pranayama, which they would get from other 200 hours and 500 hours and whatever our programs that are available today. But we would be adding the crucial elements, which includes learning of Sanskritam, learning of the sutras, learning of the Gitas, learning about Ayurveda, kirtans, bhajans, chanting, and complete suite, so that they get transformed and become yogacharyas. The second program that we are proposing to do is again an executive coach program, wherein any person who wants to who is working in the corporate world and who is now keen on pursuing spirituality and teaching it to corporates, and he wants to become an executive coach, we're working on making a curriculum. Prasad Kaipaji, who is our advisor, board of advisor, he has kindly consented to guide us, and we will be shortly launching. Again, this would have an authentic, there would be HR component, which they get from their corporate background, but there would be a philosophical background, our Upanishads, our essence of the Upanishads, Gita, and it would be a residential program so that they get transformed and go back to the corporate world and be genuine executive coaches. And the third that we are launching, for which I have the blessings of Pujya Swamiji. In fact, Pujya Swamiji has blessed me, and his last words for me when I was seeking his blessings on the day he landed in 2015, he said, "Work hard, Bharat ke liye." So now I know what he meant, that if I serve Bharat, I'm serving Shankar Bhagavan. And the blessings I have for him is that I should establish similar things like Anekatti, that a 3-year program for learning Advaita Vedanta in the traditional way. And this would be the same curriculum that Swamiji has been teaching: Sanskritam, Prakaran Granthas, Bhagavad Gita, Upanishad, Brahma Sutras. And I've always been telling Swamiji that, look, you have done 4, let me also think about 4 matas, but all over the world. So, and I also joking tell my friends that, look, this has been a rectangular. If you look at Dwaraka to Badrinath to Puri to Sringeri, there's a rectangle of some 1800 kilometers. Now we should look at a similar rectangle in the world, between SFO and, London, Sao Paulo, and, somewhere here. And we should establish further schools, because that is the global demand. That is, if we are not able to, like I was mentioning, if we are not able to serve this demand, then we would be failing. If we have a desire to be a Vishwa Guru, then we have to produce gurus. That is the only way. We have also launched a program to install 108 Vigrahas of Shankar Bhagwan. We have so far done 5. 4 Vigraha Pratishthas have already happened. All 4 are in Tamil Nadu. The 5th one is going to be in Kerala. And the 6th one is going to be in Sri Salem. The reason why it is going to be in Sri Salem is, as you know, Shankar Bhagwan spent a lot of time there. And I reached out to my friend and said, look, can we do something there? And then he spoke to the executive officer there, and he said, yes, let's look at it. The place where exactly he was staying there. We're looking at if we can establish it there. And so the idea is that, we want to establish 108 instead of establishing 108 tall one, 108 smaller ones around the world. So if any of you who are watching this would like Shankar Bhagwan in their temple, in their college, in their wherever, please write to us, please reach out to us. And this is something we are very, very keen on doing it. Also, we will be looking at, for example, where he had debate with Mandana Mishra, I believe that village in Bihar, we're looking at that place. So in fact, all his yatra, wherever there's no consecration of his presence in that particular place, we can look at that. And that would be a beautiful thing. You mark the entire thing that he has traversed and see that in every place that he's been there, we have a Vigraha. So we have this program. We have completed 5. And then, of course, it's a journey, 3-4 years, 5 years journey. But we need your blessings for that. This festival has been a revelation because we have almost 10,000 videos. We've been there for the last 10 years, last 5 years. We have added a lot of content. But doing this live and getting so many new speakers, has been a revelation. So in about 2 months' time, we want to make this channel itself a 24/7 channel with at least 10 hours of live programming, so that this becomes a global channel with global timings. So somebody in Brazil, this morning we have seen a teacher in Brazil, for example. So it would be live programming in Brazil. In Chile we have. So all over the world, we can have live programs. So that is the other thing that we are planning. Lastly, I want to tell you that we are now on June 21st. We are launching Yoga Festival for 1 month again. My colleague Vinay Chandra, who is looking after Indica Yoga, he's working on it. And so we will have a 1 month festival with 3 timings every day: European timing, US timing, Indian timing, where yoga teachers would be performing and would be having workshops. So that is something that we are planning from June 21st onwards. So my appeal to all of you is that this is a time, our time has come, and we need to rise to the occasion. If any of you are wanting to pursue serious sadhana in this and make a career as an executive coach, or pursue and take the final leap to pursue this on a full time, please reach out to us, because if we want to become Vishwaguru, spirituality is the way to go, because we have, Shankar Bhagavan has given us a structured, systematic syllabus in a way that there is no other form of spirituality that has this kind of a structure, logical, I don't need to talk about so many speakers have already spoken about the greatness, the intellectual giant that Shankar Bhagavan was. So I thank all of you, I thank all the speakers and artists, and I thank my advisory board, all of them, and my office. It's just been a fantastic month, and thank you so much. Thank you.
Hariji, that was a very inspirational sort of roadmap for the future. The idea of creating a Vishwaguru movement, I think, is brilliant, through executive coaching programs to the Yogacharya programs, because if you want to create a movement and sort of bring about a global change, we got to have gurus with some basic criteria, like you mentioned, not just doing a yoga class for 20 hours, but having a Yogacharya program. I think it's very, very inspiring. And only then we can bring about change, because we have 7.8 billion people to bring themselves to this idea of oneness, because this philosophy is the only one that the humanity knows that is inclusive, that encourages inclusivity and sort of oneness. So we are all honored to be connected to you in this life journey and to be part of your mission. And I'm seeing a lot of comments about how many people are coming forward to say, please count us, we will be with you. And so thank you very much for bringing the rest of us into your mission.